It was very nerve-wracking, very scary. It was a trial by fire. If I wanted to get my dip my toe in that ocean, I ended up probably getting thrown overboard head first. I was pitching under the most extreme circumstances, which is in front of a room full of 100 people, most of whom are executives at all the studios that would, potentially be interested in that. So, no pressure. But once I met a lot of all the other participants were all really great, and really you felt like we were all in it together. And once it came, the worst part is everything leading up to it, is anticipating it. So once it's happening, it just kind of like, all right, this is happening, and you just kind of give yourself over to it and end up just having fun with it. And so right now I'm we call it Posing Supervisor on a show, Loud House. It's a Nickelodeon show that we produce for them at Jamfield. So an average work day is it's a mix of a bunch. Oh, thanks, man. See you around. So I'm assigning scenes to people, looking at the episode, breaking it down. I work with another supervisor. We usually just break the episode in half and give it to our teams. And then I'm checking scenes. People will do a posing pass, show it to me. We work in Toon Boom, of course. So they'll show me a rough pass of their scene, just the posing, and I'll either approve it or I'll have comments, either little technical things, or sometimes it's notes about acting, about interpretation of the storyboard, because they've got kind of a narrow view. They're looking at their batch of scenes, whereas I'm kind of looking at the episode as a whole and trying to make sure everything hooks up and makes sense, and from a storytelling point of view, and that the intention that Nickelodeon, who's our client, that they gave us, that we're kind of at least meeting that and hopefully enhancing that. But sometimes a sequence is too long to kind of give to one animator, so I kind of have to split it in half. And I say, watch your hookups, which means just say Lincoln is standing in the left side of the room and he's got a worried expression on his face. The camera angle changes, he's got to still have the same expression on his face, so it doesn't feel like we jump forward in time. So it has that feeling of we're just reorienting in space, not in time. It's not confusing for the audience. So little things like that. If they're sitting on the couch and we cut to a different angle, it's they're still, unless we've shown them move, or we can, sometimes we say, do we need to hook that up? It's but if there's been enough time between it, we can say, well, your mind can correct for it if you can imagine, while we weren't looking at them, they moved a little bit. It doesn't have to be exact. Being part of Pitch This and getting to the finals has taken up all my mental real estate. I really haven't had the time, focus, or mental energy to even participate in anything else, to be honest with you, unless it's preparing for a presentation, distracting myself from how nervous I am. So I kind of skipped a lot of the panels up until yesterday, but then I immediately went to see Children of the Sea, which is a new Japanese film, kind of what I was alluding to before about a sort of non-narrative, more unconventional film that it's rare that you can see that kind of film with such a large audience, and it's, like I said, a unique experience and just gorgeous movie. I didn't understand it all, but I feel like I felt it in all the right ways, and just some of the most superb animation I've ever seen, period. Coming to the festival is a big part of it. It's I met a lot of cool people just hanging out. You meet one person and they're friends with someone else. It just kind of happens naturally. I don't feel like it's any different than in any other social situation. It's all based on finding the people, doing a little interview. Yeah.
Oh, you're doing an interview?
Yeah. Get in here!
Is it live?
Yeah. We're live. We're going live.
No.
Yeah. We have a film in the Canadian Panorama, him and I, so it's Joel Mackenzie. Actually, it's funny because I did go to the Nickelodeon panel this morning. We were talking about, it was at the Casa Grande's panel, and they talked about networking, and they alluded to something I've always felt, which is networking it feels like such a almost pretentious word, and it makes you think you have to wear a nice suit and a tie and be hello, here's my card, and like it feels phony. I think that's what people respond. It feels inauthentic, but really it's just a jargon for just finding the people that you like and want to work with. Because to me, the coolest thing about this industry is like, as an artist, a lot of time it feels like the term artist kind of evokes this feeling of, oh, it's like this, solo pursuit. Like you lock away and work on your masterpiece and toil in solitude. But animation brings together like all these different kinds of artists, and they get to be like, and so you get all these different kinds of personalities, all these different kinds of people, and just trying to create one thing. And it feels like a crazy magic trick that we pull it off time and time again and manage to get like, because sometimes organizing a party or getting some people to get together to go to a movie can be hard. Yeah. So it feels like a miracle where it's like, how did we make an episode of a TV show again? Like.